Is Elon reducing Tesla's EV prices? Does Tesla do more than half of China's electric vehicle exportations? Is Panasonic building a $4 billion battery plant to supply Tesla? And finally, is the long-awaited 500-mile range Tesla Model Y already here? We will cover all these topics in today's video, so stay tuned! Elon Musk claims that Tesla is holding off on lowering the cost of its electric automobiles until inflation calms down, after rising 20 to 30% over the previous 2 years. One of the primary issues at the beginning of the electric vehicle revolution was the price. EV supporters dispute the allegation by asserting that prices will decrease with volume as batteries become more affordable with new technology. Up until 2020, when the global economy was severely impacted by the epidemic and unchecked inflation, they were correct. Due to its direct-to-consumer strategy, which does not rely on vehicle dealerships that agree on the final pricing with the customers, Tesla has been the best illustration of that. The ultimate prices, which have been progressively rising, are those listed by Tesla on the website. For instance, the Tesla Model Y has a starting price of $53,000 in early 2020, but it now has a starting price of $66,000. That represents a 25% price increase in the last 2 years, and it's occurring across the board for the whole Tesla vehicle series. It's interesting to note that those price hikes haven't had any impact on demand for Tesla, which continues to have a sizable backlog of orders, with some of its models still having a 6 to 10 month delivery window for new bookings. Tesla, though, has said that its objective is to lower the cost of electric vehicles so that more people may afford them. When asked about when to anticipate price reductions from Tesla, CEO Elon Musk responded on Twitter that the company aims to do so when inflation calms down. It's crucial to remember that, despite Tesla's considerable price hikes over the past 2 years, its gross margin on automobiles has also improved dramatically. This shows that Tesla's price increase has exceeded cost increases brought on by inflation and supply chain concerns. Tesla has provided an explanation for this, claiming that due to a backlog of orders, it must raise prices based on the cost of producing vehicles that will be brought in the next 6 to 10 months. The automaker hasn't always been able to accurately forecast those rises. In other news, the export of Tesla Model Y and Model 3 from the Gigafactory Shanghai makes up for half of China's total export of EVs in the first half of 2022. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, stated that when the company first announced its intentions to create a massive electric car plant in Shanghai, that it would only be used to meet domestic demand for electric vehicles in China and would not export any vehicles to other countries. But in the end, things didn't work out that way. Tesla had great success increasing input at the Gigafactory Shanghai, which quickly became the world's most prolific electric vehicle factory. Tesla made the decision to capitalize on the production rate in 2021 and transformed the Gigafactory Shanghai into its export center. Now that the Gigafactory Shanghai was shut down for a sizable portion of Q2 owing to lockdowns in the city, the automaker had a difficult first half of 2022 in China. Despite these challenges, data gathered by CNEV Post shows that Tesla shipments made up half of China's exports of electric vehicles in the first half of the year. Tesla's Shanghai plant exported 97,182 vehicles in the first half of the year, accounting for 48% of all NEVs exported from China in the same period. According to data from the China Passenger Car Association, monitored by CNEV Post, the company's stats would have undoubtedly be far more remarkable if Giga Shanghai had not been stopped in the city's COVID lockdowns. Tesla China exported 40,499 and 33,315 automobiles in January and February of 2022 respectively. Due to the company's attention on the domestic market, Tesla China only exported 60 automobiles in March, and this number was 0 in April. Tesla started exporting again in May, sending over 22,340 units abroad. However, in June, as Giga Shanghai refocused on the domestic market, the number of exports fell to 968 units. Tesla may very well account for a larger portion of the NEV export market in the second half of 2022, bearing any unfavorable events like another prolonged COVID lockdown in China. In China, all non-gasoline powered vehicles are referred to as new energy vehicles. However, the majority of those are electric cars. even though they were produced by big American or European manufacturers in the past, Western markets have historically been reluctant to purchase automobiles made in China. However, this is changing, especially with electric vehicles. But as of late, brands like Tesla, Volvo, BMW, and Polestar are all successfully exporting electric cars from China. Although the trend began before 2020, it has recently been accelerating quickly and is predicted to continue. Next up, major Tesla Incorporated supplier Panasonic Energy Company announced yesterday, July 13th, that Kansas had been chosen as the new location for a new battery plant that, according to state officials, would generate up to 4,000 jobs and an investment of up to $4 billion. The facility, which will be built in DeSoto, Kansas, is essential to Panasonic's quest to increase EV production as it pushes for improvements in battery performance and power. The Japanese business already supplies Tesla from a facility in Nevada. After Kansas Governor Laura Kelly urged the state legislature to adopt an incentive package worth up to $1 billion earlier this year, Panasonic Energy, a division of Panasonic Holdings Corporation, chose Kansas over Oklahoma for the facility. The Kansas Department of Commerce announced in a statement that following Panasonic's completion of its investment and hiring, the state would compensate the firm with anticipated subsidies totaling $829 million. Kansas anticipated that the facility would generate $2.5 billion in economic activity each year, offsetting the state's greatest development subsidy package. Panasonic intends to boost battery production capacity by 3 to 4 times by 2029, with the majority of the expansion taking place in North America. With production beginning in Japan, Panasonic is planning to provide Tesla with a more potent, larger battery known as the 4680 model. The Oklahoma Department of Commerce declared in a statement that it was optimistic for additional opportunities to secure Panasonic investment in the future. With the increased electrification of the automotive market, expanding battery production in the United States is critical to help meet demand, Panasonic Energy President Kazuo Tadanobu said. Rahm Emanuel, the US ambassador to Japan, stated today in Tokyo that Panasonic's upcoming EV battery plant in Kansas will serve more than just Tesla. According to Emanuel, the initiative is a big investment into a crucial sector. In recent months, other battery makers have also made announcements about their intentions to invest in US manufacturing, or started discussions with state officials. This is the result of an industry trend to meet the anticipated growth of EVs and lessen reliance on Chinese manufacturing and the associated supply chain risks. Battery manufacturers from South Korea have revealed plans to invest $5.5 billion in US plants this year. People with knowledge of these negotiations claim that China's contemporary Amperex technology company, the world's largest battery supplier, has also been screening locations for US manufacturers. In more exciting news, there could already be Tesla Model Ys on the road with a potential for 500 miles of range. This report has several sources, including a tweet from Dr. Jack16, a Tesla supporter on Twitter, who asserted that certain Tesla personnel had already started operating Tesla Model Y vehicles equipped with batteries good for 500 miles. There have been theories that the range exists, but is currently sealed while the new cells are being tested, though his evidence is sparse. In order to avoid the need for additional elements to provide rigidity, the Tesla Model Y cars made in Giga, Texas, are currently shipping with the 4680 cells and structural batteries, which means the cells and packs are built into the chassis. The data revealed at Tesla Battery Day in 2020 were used to calculate this 500-mile range. However, Tesla also reported 16% more range from the cell design, 20% more range from the anode material, 4% more range from the cathode material, and 14% more range from the cell vehicle integration. This results in an overall addition of 54%. The Tesla Model Y has a 330-mile EPA range in the USA and a 331-mile WLTP range in the UK. You obtain 508 or 510 miles after adding 54% respectively. If your vehicle has a 500-mile range, you will hardly ever need to use public EV charging. In general, Americans can drive further than Europeans, especially the British. In actuality, the average American driver logs 14,000 miles annually, compared to only half of that in UK. Americans seem culturally willing to drive an hour to the mall, but Brits won't bother. In reality, the 874-mile trip from Cornwall's Land's End to Scotland's John O'Groats is the longest road in the UK. The quickest time ever recorded for this was 9 hours and 36 minutes at an average speed of 89 miles per hour, which is 19 miles per hour faster than the fastest UK limit and is therefore obviously unlawful. In actuality, there will likely be 2 overnight stops along the way. Your trips to the public charger will already be few and only necessary for longer travels if you possess a car with a WLTP/EPA range for 300 miles and have home charging. If you increase that to 500 miles, you won't need a public charger except on extended trips like road vacations. For most sensible drivers, a real-world range of 350 to 400 miles equates to more than a full day's worth of driving. Any day trip will therefore be covered. Looks like there's a lot to be excited about for Tesla Model Y and the future of EVs in general. If you want to stay updated with Tesla's latest news, make sure to subscribe to our channel. So which of the following Tesla news shocked you the most? Comment below. Also, if you enjoyed our content, remember to leave a like to help us out. See you in the next video.